Good evening, everybody. This is Johnny Seville from Acorn Wealth Corp, and this is your executive summary for stock subs for Thursday. Okay, well, we have one more day left of open range in the bullish signal. Today, of course, we had a beautiful bullish reversal from yesterday's drop. Now, if you joined us in last night's trading room, of course, this was some amazing stuff which we had talked about last night about our expectations that exactly this would happen. So that's the main thing that we had anticipated here was going down to the 1 hour chart on the SPY. Now, let's just bring that up here for a moment. Tick tock, tick tock. Now, obviously the SPY or the S&P 500's ETF has been moving with some amazing technical accuracy. Back in April, we foresaw that downward channel and had anticipated a break up to 274 on the S&P 500, stepping out from that downward channel breakout. Obviously, we hit that level. Then what happened recently is if we just zoom in a little bit, don't mind all my scribble, is we then came into a downward channel illustrated by this line and this line. Okay, if you want to look at those a little bit thicker, there's downward channel number one. We then went into an upward channel. All right, so we broke out to the upside, we formed an upward channel, and then broke down again. So we basically had this kind of crossing back and forth of channels. Now, when a downward channel breaks down and hit that support of the original downward channel, this formed a pattern called the fallen angel. So last night we talked about the fact that we expected this to be a bullish rally off of this zone, and that if we essentially closed above this 272 area, we confirmed that. So the fact that we actually did bounce right off of this support level, broke back above that downward channel indicated by the green lines, this forms a fallen angel pattern, which is certainly bullish. Now, obviously tomorrow is the end of the month, which means the end of the bullish sentiment that was set on Friday. What was it? Friday the 18th, using our special smart money open range indicator. So we have one day left of that bullish sentiment. Now we are in a short-term hourly bullish pattern, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. But what's really going to matter here is what occurs then on Friday, and whether we break higher or lower than the range set or Friday in the beginning of next week. So we've got some, again, another important juncture in the market technically, but so far we're still pushing in the bullish direction. Now that has resulted in some incredible bullish moves for those of you that's obviously been following along with all of our alerts for the past couple of months. Let's just load that, go back to the daily chart here. So, all right. So, I mean, let's go through. It's got a few to run through, but it's certainly worth looking at. NTRP, which we talked about in last night's trading room, for those of you who were joining us last night. Obviously, NTRP is one we've had on the watch list for a long time. The aggressive entry point we talked about was a break above $9, and then which we've seen here in April, and then the conservative entry point was a break through this kind of $9.93, $10 area, which we broke through yesterday. So that continued its bullish break today, up 5.4% on triple the volume of yesterday's action. So that's looking really good, and certainly a very valid potential trade setup here at the moment. So I'd expect more bullishness from this one, and it looks fantastic. The VVUS, despite the pullback from its, obviously this rallied really beautifully from, I think it was around 68 cents all the way up to $1, and is pulling back. Now, the key thing though here is that on the weekly chart, it's holding above the 50-week moving average, and as well above the 5-week exponential moving average. You can see that convergence right there. So as long as it holds above that, this is still looking good. And again, you can see if we look at the pattern that's evolving, you've got that potential fallen angel again, which is also just holding above that downward channel too. So again, that powerful momentum type move where it's broken down from a downward channel, pushed up, and is trying to push again. So it wants to get up towards that 120 area. And from there, could continue even further still. So VVUS, when you actually zoom out to look at that weekly chart, is still looking quite nice, and it may still consolidate a bit here, but wants to push higher. MNKD, again, we're looking for an entry signal if it broke above 203. I hit 201 today. Money flow also accumulating down beneath. Great insider buying. So it's trying to make its move. Very similar kind of momentum, early signs of momentum patterns here. You've got SIEN, Sierra India Echo Nancy, and as you can see, just waiting for this one to pull up. This one just pushing out and breaking out of its pennant formation over the last 2 days. This one's had a great move, and I'd consider looking at a stop here at 16.23 as it continues to push. Wants to get higher again. If we get a bullish break above Friday's range, then we could have another 3 weeks of bullish action for the beginning of June, which is looking fantastic. DNLI obviously has just broken through that kind of $21 area which we were looking for. Needs to kind of close above that. So, but early signs holding its 5-day exponential moving average and looking good so far. Obviously, lots of insider buying on DNLI. CLSN. Bouncing off of its moving average support. Again, this is more of an oscillating type of pattern, but being held up by this cluster of moving averages beneath it. So I'd be considering a stop signal around 237 on this one for the time being until it can make some new ground to the upside. THC, again, beautiful momentum setup after that original breakthrough, that channel that we pointed out here, around $25. It's continued to push. Lovely continuation of its moving averages. And so THC would consider updating the stop signal here to 32.13 to kind of protect any profit you may have made there. Speaking of great moves, ENT, wow! I mean, just beautiful. Obviously, we'd highlighted this at 170, 177, I believe it was. It's just it's powered up, pulled back to support, rallied up, hit the resistance there, pulled back, rallied again strongly today, and as you can see, it's closing into that resistance with strength. So if this one can break above tomorrow, it's already up really nicely. Then it may have a good shot of getting up to that 390 area or 387 that we talked about. Broad spread and big insider buying on ENT as well. OTIC. Kind of earlier in its stages, just holding its kind of trend line support. Again, you can see that downward channel break beneath, just sitting on top of that. Money flow is moving up nicely. So OTIC trying to make some ground. THS. Again, kind of if you think about the before and after effect, this is the after effect. Some of these were downward channels like ENT just trying to break out. This one has broken out and is just now sitting nicely on top of that that previous resistance, now support. THS is the key thing was that the bounce off of support today was on 687,000 shares over yesterday's 394,000 shares. So almost twice the volume of yesterday's consolidation, showing a nice break of some of that maybe potentially horizontal resistance you can see marked by my crosshair here going through that kind of $47 area. So that's looking really good. THC. If we take a look at THC, you'll be able to see that this one has had, just waiting for it to load up. This one has almost hit its first target here. So considering we're heading into the end of the bullish signal from May 18th, I would suggest that this is this is you could possibly look at taking some profit here. Again, we're waiting to see if this breaks higher, but I'd consider a partial profit taking here. Again, it's completely up to you what you want to do. These are just ideas, but one could consider looking at a stop signal around 32.83 to protect that profit. All right, let's continue on. We got PAH. PAH is continuing to move. Great move up. Just again, great insider buying. Once again, downward channel that you can see it's had broken out from, like a lot, similar to some of these other downward channel patterns we've indicated. It's just pushing higher and higher and higher. Blue candles all the way across, and nice move today, up 3.5% on 2.85 million shares. Would consider looking at a stop signal, say for around 11.13, as an idea here. Jill, again, same kind of pattern, breaking out of its downward channel resistance. This one had good volume as well. Volume yesterday was 571,000, today 994,000. Again, yesterday moving up in a downward market, like the salmon swimming upstream. This one now could really get some steam to the upside, with money flow now positive and reaching for the sky. So that one's looking good. KRG, another one breaking out of its downward channel, obviously one we had been talking about for a while. Last spoke about it on Monday, May 21st, I believe. This has made a good move today, closing above its 100-day moving average. This is looking good as it charges towards its 1650 short-term target. MLI, also looking great. I mean, all of these recent alerts have just been doing so well. Again, as you can see, this one reaching its short-term target today, out of breaking out of its downward channel. APRN. Now this one is, again, had broken outside of its downward channel. Has pushed up, pulled back to the 9-day, and is now looking like it wants to break that pennant formation you can see formed over this little cluster of candles. Money flow has remained positive. This one wants to push as well. I'd be looking at a possible stop signal here of 243, and a possible short-term profit target area of 343. ARLP, again, breaking into its downward channel. It's starting to push here. Obviously already hit its first target today, and so I would look at considering a stop signal update to around 1787. FI. FI is bouncing off of its support, holding really, really nicely. As you can see, a very common theme with all of these. Beautiful breakouts are from downward channels. Beautiful breakouts from all of these relative levels and holding nicely. And what else have we got? NSTG. Just the list just goes on. It's so as you can see, it's not about trying to cherry pick a setup. These are all the same scan we found them with. They're all pretty much all the same strategy. So I mean, you know, it doesn't matter whether you find 1 or 5 or 10. It's the same strategy again and again and again. Look at NSTG again. That beautiful downward channel broke to the downside, broke into the channel, rallied up. Obviously, this has been a huge, huge win if you're in this one. And holding the moving averages really nicely. Again, also wants to go further, but has obviously hit some great targets up from around $7 when we found it, now at 13. And speaking of great runs, last one from last one from our existing alerts, CLNE. Just unreal rally. Let's wait till it pops up. Yeah, unreal rally. Again, same thing. Downward channel, broke beneath, back into the channel where we found it at, and has just pushed higher and higher and higher and higher. Now up almost 100% from where we found it at. Great rally today, and certainly again could consider some short-term profit taking here. Would also consider a stop at 247 to protect that rally. It's just been amazing. So there you go. And then on the short side, I mean, you've got CMPR. CMPR's had a beautiful drop, but this does look like it's about to turn around. So I would suggest that maybe this is going to probably go up before it goes down again. So nothing wrong with taking some profits here. Just wanted to make you aware of that one. It is turning around and the money flow has turned positive. And Dan, also looking really, really good. This has dropped, retested resistance and has continued to drop. DAN looking really good. The only new thing I wanted to make you aware of is ONVO. Now, it's not new. We did discuss it last night in the trading room, but as a potentially good new possible entry signal. So just I wanted to make you aware that I do like this, and I would consider a stop signal around 173. It's holding that resistance support really well, I should say, and looks like it's going to run further. So well, once again, look, if you are not receiving these alerts, these are the things we're sending out every day. A lot of these have been talked about last night. We have trading rooms. We send out text message alerts. We send out these types of videos 3 or 4 times a week. So these are the kinds of things you want to get. You can trial it for only $9. That will give you access to the text alerts, give you access to our twice weekly trading rooms at 4 p.m. Pacific until 5 p.m. Pacific, where we do our live analysis, scanning, and everything. We've basically brings this type of research to the table, and obviously these videos. So for $9, that'll give you a full month of access to check this out, so you don't miss the next one. So hopefully you've enjoyed tonight's free video. If you are not a current member, to all of our current members, hope you're doing awesome. And if you do want to give it a try, just go to acornwealthcorp.com/gold. It's $9 of risk for unlimited potential reward, as you can see. And we've got a lot more exciting markets ahead. So give it a go, and looking forward to hopefully seeing you in tomorrow night's live breakdown at 4 p.m. Pacific. And if you do miss it, it is recorded, it is sent out, so you won't miss a beat. Take care. Happy trading, everybody.